Back at my mobile home that we put up for sale 6 days ago, and just wanted to do my weekly walkthrough. I want to show you kind of where this is at because it kind of sits off the road. So there's the main road right there. As you see, we have to come down a driveway, and then my mobile home is back in there. So I just want to take you with me as I walk through it. And basically what I'm looking for is I'm just trying to see if anyone's broke in here and decided to move in. So if I have any non-paying tenants. Also checking to see if maybe a water pipe is burst or a window is broken or just anything. Maybe my lawn people were cutting the grass and a rock flew up and broke a window. So basically just checking on the property, make sure everything's okay. I like to do that at least one time a week. I used to do it twice a week, but now I've gotten older and probably a little bit lazier. I'm just doing it one time a week. So I figure as I walk through this, I'll kind of tell you where this deal is at. So we listed it 6 days ago. This is Tuesday. We listed it on last Wednesday and listed it for $185,000. This property is very hard to get a value on this property. You see the water in the background. Very hard to get a value on the property because there's just no comps. You have houses on the water, but those obviously sell for a lot more than what this mobile home will. This is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath mobile home. As my understanding from the man I bought it from, it used to be a 2-bedroom, maybe 2-bathroom. So the things are still in place for that. But he didn't want people staying with him. He kept having people stay with him. So he took this wall out for the bedroom. I think the bathroom was right in this area here. So he took all that out so that people couldn't come stay with him. He wanted the place to himself. So it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. So getting a little bit of feedback on that, but it's listed as a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. So don't know why that's really a problem. But they can add another bedroom and bathroom. There's room for it, a small bathroom in here as well. So everything, as I'm looking around here, just trying to make sure that I don't hear any running water, everything looks fine. So I'm gonna kind of turn some lights off as I walk through and tell you kind of where we're at. So it's been listed for 6 days. If you watch Zillow, then which I like to do as a real estate investor, especially on my listings, then it has about 1,700 views, has 55 saves. So views are pretty good for 6 days, especially for a mobile home, for $185,000 mobile home, which is what it's listed for. But the saves aren't really that high. It's just another metric I like to watch. And again, I'm here at the bathroom, just kind of making sure that nothing's messed up, no water running, all that looks good. So we'll leave that. We'll walk in here and finish this up on the water. So listed for 185, and my real estate agent and I both thought that may be a little bit high, but he wants to give me as much as he can, and I want to pocket as much as I can. So we are in unison on that because this commission's more if I get more. But I do think that's a little bit high. There are some lots that are for sale, just vacant lots that don't have anything on it. No mobile home, not even a septic tank or sewer hookup or no water. There's just raw land on the water. And they're asking around 100, and most of them have been kind of sitting for a while. So kind of in the back of my mind, we're thinking that, okay, so is this mobile home worth $85,000? Well, no, I don't think it's worth $85,000. But if you figure it's set up, you can actually move right into it, then maybe it's worth it. Put another $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for installing the utilities, septic tank, water, hooking the water line up. Now you're up to a lot plus those utilities, about 120. So is the mobile home worth another $65,000? Again, that's probably pushing it. That's probably a little bit high. I hear something jump in the water over here. Let's see if we see what it is. Well, it disappeared. I see ripples. That's gone. See, oh, there's a bunch. I don't know if you can see the fish. There's a ton of fish down there. Little baby, tiny little fish down there. And even though it's a super hot day, I think the heat index is like 110 today. Under this little shade, it feels good. Actually, a nice little breeze out here. Some little wind chimes would do great out here. I see somebody's chair. I don't know if you can see the chair off in the distance over there. Somebody lost their chair, blew off their dock. Man, what are they gonna do? Where's my chair? It's out in the ocean. But so we're asking 185,000, 1,700 views on Zillow, 55 saves in 6 days. I'd like to definitely see that over 100 saves. Over 100 saves, I feel like, okay, we're having some interest. So I spoke to my agent this morning. He's like, Randy, let's slow down, give us some time. And I appreciate his opinion. I decided to go with his opinion. He's like, Randy, I had another one that was for sale for 8 days. And all of a sudden I got 2 offers. Now we have had 1 showing, and the feedback was, I guess the person in here was a smoker that I bought it from, even though it had been vacant for a while. But you can smell a little bit of smoke in there. So he says he's have to scrape off the ceiling and kind of clean that up because it is hot. I think the smells are really starting to come out. So that was their only feedback. It wasn't that they didn't like it, it's just that there was a smoke smell. So that was kind of their negative feedback, but overall not a deal killer. They're still considering it. So who knows, we may get an offer from them. But I'm gonna leave it like it is for another week. When we get to 12, 13, 14 days, if I haven't had any offers, unless I've had maybe 2, 3, or 4 showings the next 6 days, at that point I'll probably keep the price where it is, probably for one more week. But my gut tells me that we're probably gonna end up getting a lot of interest when it gets down below 170, maybe 169, and maybe even 159. I think when I ran numbers, my bottom line is probably around 150, 160, somewhere there. I gotta run final numbers after paying commission, paying my remodel cost, all the expenses that go along with owning it while it's sitting here for sale. I probably need to be 150, maybe 160, and make a decent little profit to make it worth selling. So we'll see. I'm gonna leave it at 185 for now, which I think is high, but if I drop it, I'm probably gonna drop at least $10,000. But I'm gonna give it another week and just see what kind of offers we get. So I just left 2 houses. One of them was a house that had caught fire. I should have done some videos on that one as I was walking through because I was by myself, but I kind of forgot to until I left. And looked at another one that a real estate investor had totally remodeled. He'd done a really good job. I told him I was the wrong guy to call. I'm like, you need to sell it to somebody who's gonna live in this thing. It looks so good. But I made a nice contact. He actually has another property he'd bought, and he said, if you know somebody wants to buy this one, I'd be happy to pay you something. And I told him likewise, hey, if you have a deal that you don't want, you're loaded up on deals, let me know. I'll be happy to pay your referral fee. So nice to meet some new contacts today. I'm gonna make an offer on at least one house that I looked at today. So that's all I have for you today. I'll keep you abreast of what's going on. Maybe we'll get an offer next week. That'd be nice. It'd be nice to get a paycheck. Haven't sold one in a while here, so it'd be nice to sell one. And just a little bit of crazy news. I'm gonna head to a city about 3 hours from here where I have about 20 rental houses. And we're evicting a tenant. I'm gonna do a video on this. We're evicting a tenant. They got their final notice and the 24-hour eviction notice. 12 hours before the eviction, the mobile home burns down in the middle of the night. The thing is, I didn't have insurance on it. The reason I didn't have insurance on it is because the tenant had so much crud in the yard that my insurance company had counseled me. So I gave the tenant 2 weeks to clean it up. When they didn't have it done in 2 weeks, I gave them 2 more weeks. So a month to clean it up. They still hadn't cleaned it up, so I began the eviction process. And then fast forward a month and a half later, my insurance has been canceled. My thoughts are the tenant probably burned it down. Of course, it hasn't been proven yet, but I've been doing this for 26 years. On average, I own 30, 40, 50 rentals at a time, sometimes at most 150. Houses don't just burn down, ironically, 12 hours before eviction. I've had 4 fires in 26 years. One was a kitchen fire where the tenant was cooking and left some food on the stove. The second one was a panel box fire where something shorted out in the panel box. The third one, a tenant is actually getting evicted and they actually burned the mobile home down. So I did get insurance on that one because another tenant saw them with a lighter or a match lighting fire to the mobile home the night before. And then this one. And so the fire marshals, I'm really pushing them, look, if they didn't set the fire, okay, great. But the odds are, it's just such bad odds for that tenant. The odds are they probably did. So I don't know if they're trying to hide something or just upset that we're evicting them. They've been there for a long time. So we'll see. Hopefully for the tenant's sake, they did not set fire to it. But we'll see. The fire marshals are digging in and doing some research. So we'll see how it goes. And when I get to that city, I'm probably go there next month or so. I'll make a video just on that. It's tough. It was a pretty big financial hit. So that one kind of sucks. Either way, hopefully the tenant didn't do it. Hopefully I'm wrong in that thought and they didn't do it. But either way, it was a big financial hit, which sucked. And it was the tenant's fault because they had so much trash in the yard that my insurance company canceled me. So that's how it is. That's part of being a real estate investor and having rental property. So with that, I'll see you later. I'll see you next week and maybe we'll have an offer by then.